short ones that are like. I think this will only go up there.
My story is a very simple one. I used to live in Tours, France. My father died, so mom decided to sell the inn, sell the land we owned, and take with her the kids that were not settled yet. We arrived here in 1642. What century is that? 17th century. Thank you very much. And a few years later, we're going to open the very first general store of Quebec City. Now, where are you folks from? So you know your Canadian history on the tip of your fingers, right?
Sometimes.
Well, let's check this out. Who's the founder of Quebec City? Well, actually, he's right there.
Him right there. That guy de l'Ocamp.
Samuel de Champlain, founder of Quebec City in 1608. By the way, in some books they say he was governor. Not possible, because it's not nobility, he never got the title. He did the job, but you cannot call him the first governor. The first governor of New France will be Monsieur de Montmagny, who will arrive after the death of Champlain. It's 50 years after his death that the king said, "I'd like to have a portrait of Champlain, please." So the court painter said, "Sire, he's dead." "I don't care, I'm the king, I want a portrait." So the court painter cheated, and he took one of the accountants of the king, Monsieur Emery de Particelli, to pretend to be Champlain. So that's an accountant pretending to be an explorer. Yeah, and the sad part of the story is that a few years later, the accountant was thrown in jail because he was not just counting the money of the king, if you get my drift. So it's a bit sad to us that our main hero is actually represented by a thief. So they made a switch. Today, this is Cardinal Laval University, it's the School of Architecture. Now that's not. Quebec to paint the history of the city, and when the city announced the project, some painters from the province of Quebec said, "What? Some French dude is going to paint my history?" So the French guy said, "Why don't we join forces?"
Jean. I will be your guide, one of your guides today. I just wanted to do a quick introduction with you guys, just to present you the facade of this building that is called today the Morin Center. But it had multiple uses during its life. Do you know what was the first use? What was this building was built for?
A prison.
A prison, indeed. Common jail, actually, to be more precise. So actually, the building was built many years ago.
1808.
1808. Yeah, you're good. Congratulations. Yes, so it's more than 200 years old. And actually, not a lot of things changed since 200 years old. But if we take a look at the windows, we see black circle. Why is there a black circle on the windows?
There used to be bars.
There used to be bars, indeed. So this change, of course, is the main difference. Also, up the door here, you see a triangle. It was not always there. Back there in the beginning of the 19th century, there used to be a balcony. Why a balcony would be there? Oh. But you put a balcony on a jail. Hanging people, exactly. So that penalty was actually legal in Canada for quite some time. It was abolished in 1976, only like 40 years before. And we're talking about a prison that was held between 1808 and 1864. So executions were held publicly in front of everybody. And actually, we wanted people to be there. For the last executions, the guy who was executed was called John Meehan, and we were actually closing schools because we wanted children to be there. We wanted children to see what would happen if they didn't right away. What we know is that John Meehan, walked on the balcony like this, and he said his last word in English and in French. He was Irish, he knew a little bit of French, so what he said was, "I am a criminal, I'm going to die for what I did, don't do what I did." And then a sack was placed on his head, and then the knot, and then the executioner would pull the mandible, and the floor would collapse. Of course, the prison changed. The prison closed in 1867, and right after it became a college. So that's why when you're going inside, you see that it doesn't look like a prison. So, yeah. So, any questions for now? Everything's good. Good. So, come inside. We're gonna.
It smells like dead people. They have to make a haunted house in here.
It's a cell. Or I don't like it. Yep.
Like actual shit.
Oh
my god, the stairs. No, you're ready. What? Don't go in there. It might be a toilet.
offense would make them, being whipped or being branded, but their master want them not broken. And so, because he want to use them after that, but they want them to be able to go back to work early, and so they will be using isolation. So for a month, they would be in there, not being able to go out, to go to the toilet or anything, because it would be a chamber pot in the corner right there, so I hope you know where it is. Also, we would open this door once per day to change the chamber pot, because that would smell bad, and to give them food. But for the rest of the day, they were in complete darkness. Oh, bye-bye. For French people like me, to find a good book in English in Quebec City is very hard. By chance we have this. And so this library here was founded in 1824. That's the oldest learning society in Canada. People always know. Shoes off. Okay. Okay.
Not all got something though, right? That store. I can find anything that fits to go to future. And I don't want these. I got sunglasses. Yeah, I mean. No. It's my things are wrong. I did it.
So happy birthday, Emily, just to start this evening where the festive ambiance of the Sugar Shack will be dedicated to you. When is the maple time? Do you know that? When's the maple time where it's the good time to get the maple water to make the maple syrup? When is it? Spring. In which conditions? Do you know? Warm but still have freezing nights.
We're on a roller coaster. This legit feels like. We spilled the soup. Snowing!
Are you going in?
Me, I just come up. I love his head.
You let it cool, even to somebody else.
Press it down apparently.
You press at the beginning and you twirl. Roll on the length of the strip.
I always wanted to do this and I did.
You gotta eat it fast because it like melts.
Oh my god.
So good.
There's one.
There you go.
Thank you.
That was the easiest